So can you get evicted during COVID-19? Absolutely yes. The reason why this is a very important question for a lot of people today is because a lot of people are losing their jobs due to COVID-19. A lot of people work in restaurants, construction workers, hospital workers, things of that nature. There was a federal relief program that was in place by the federal government. However, the issue now has become, it's kind of like slowing up the economy. So even though that there is a CDC, basically a statement out there, it's nothing that's hard and fast. I know this sounds crazy. It is a CDC statement out there that says, hey, all evictions should be held off to the end of the year. The reason why they have that in place for the CDC is to prevent what? The spread of COVID-19. If you evict somebody, guess what happens? They have to find somewhere to live, and then you have too many people in the same house, yada, yada, yada. You have to look at things from the landlord's perspective. If they have a piece of property, guess what? They probably have a mortgage on it. So they probably have little to no relief on their side of things. Now, what I've typically been telling people to do is, hey, if you know you're gonna be late, you lost your job, hey, reach out to your landlord as soon as possible. What landlords are doing is working with you. Now, I'm not saying it's hard, fast, it's not a rule at all, but what I try to tell people, this is something that you can probably work out with your landlord, because especially if you've been there for a long period of time, they know that you're a good tenant. And if you just lost your job, you provide the documentation, or you make small payments to the rent. The reason why this is important, because guess what? If they evict you, one, it costs them money. Two, if you don't have the money to pay the rent, you probably won't have the money to pay the back rent. So they're out of that money. And then thirdly, who else is gonna replace the apartment, or who's gonna replace the house, or what have you? Now, if they have a federal loan, or if it's a Section 8, a HUD property, what have you, you do have some more protection, not much. They just have to abide by stricter rules. They still can evict you, but if you can provide specific documentation, usually, like I said before, you have certain agencies and nonprofits that will work with you and actually pay your rent. I know in Birmingham, Alabama, you have the Urban League who just recently received, I think, a few $1 million to help. Now, it is a process, so you definitely want to go ahead and jump in on that. So to answer your question, which, like I said, nobody wants to hear, yes, you can get evicted, but most of the time, your landlords will work with you. What I tell people, have open communication, provide documentation. Now you can't be one of those habitual late people and say, hey, I'm gonna be late paying my rent every month just because. But if you have great history and you kind of complete your case, most of them are gonna work with you. And I would say, hey, find some way to make some type of payment so that shows a good faith effort. This is Ronne Rice. Please like, share, comment. Follow me on social media. Get Rice Now. That's GETRICENOW.